But President Trump continues to, and maybe he has a point, and we'll talk about this, fault President Obama for not taking action against Russia when it comes to meddling in the U.S. election. Listen to what he said.
He was told it was Russia by the CIA, as I understand it. It was well reported. And he did nothing about it. They say he choked. That's the real question, is why did he do nothing from August all the way to November 8th?
You were his defense secretary. You were in the Situation Room when this was discussed. Why didn't he act?
Well, I think he did take some actions. And as I said, in defense, we took a wide range of actions. To me, this was part of a pattern. To me personally, this was a part of a pattern with Vladimir Putin. But I think it's quite clear that that was not sufficient. That's why it's so important to press the Russians now. If it were sufficient, Vladimir Putin's answer to our president wouldn't have been to say, cast doubt upon it or ask for further intelligence from the United States. And that's why, again, this is not just a matter of looking backward. It's an important question for our future because it's important that Americans, when they go to the ballot box, and those in other countries as well, understand and be assured that the Russians haven't been there first.
No question, there's a lot to deal with in the future. But because you were there, I just have to ask, you said that more could have been done. Did President Obama make a mistake in not doing more?
Well, he did, took some steps, no question about it. But I think you see from Vladimir Putin's answer right now that more needs to be done. Putin is not convinced that there are going to be consequences of a magnitude for Russia as a consequence of interfering with the U.S. election that make it unwise for him to do it in the future. That hasn't been accomplished yet, and that's why it is important to stick with this issue and not be reassured by the Russian readout. Another old trick of theirs is to give a readout of a meeting which favors them. And so I think going forward, we need to stand strong with Russia and not be reassured and not be diverted by them asking for intelligence, trying to muddy the waters.
You're understandably loyal to your former boss, but it sounds like you are not all that comfortable with the reaction.
Most of all, I'm loyal to the United States.
Absolutely.
Both the current president and the president I served. They both deserve to get from Russia, on behalf of the American people, something better than what Vladimir Putin offered the other day. And we deserve that too. President Trump deserves that. And I think that he and his administration need to keep pressing for that, because the business is not done yet. And it's an issue for the future, not just a matter of looking back, but looking forward.